Why is Iceland, a country of volcanoes, glaciers, and fewer than 400,000 people, so incredibly expensive to live in or even visit? From groceries to gas, hotel rooms to housing, the costs in Iceland regularly shock travelers and residents alike. But this isn't just a fluke. There's a fascinating web of geography, history, and economics behind it. Let's break it down. First, Iceland is remote. It sits isolated in the North Atlantic Ocean, over 800 miles from mainland Europe. That means nearly everything that isn't produced domestically must be imported, often from far away and at high cost. And since Iceland isn't part of the European Union, it faces additional import fees and lacks access to the EU's broader pricing networks. Second, the country's harsh natural environment limits what can be grown locally. There's little farmland compared to most nations, and the growing season is short. Iceland does produce vegetables using greenhouses powered by geothermal heat, but those operations are expensive, and they don't cover everything. Most food and drink items, especially processed ones, are imported. And in Iceland, that means you're paying for long-distance shipping, customs duties, and a small market markup. Then there's the issue of labor costs. Iceland consistently ranks among the world's highest in terms of average wages. That might sound like a good thing, and for workers, it often is, but those wages are built into the price of nearly every product and service. A meal at a regular restaurant can easily cost double what it would in the US or parts of Europe. But it's not just about importing goods. Iceland's own services are pricey too. Housing has become increasingly expensive in Reykjavik and other towns, partly due to a tourism boom that's driven up demand for short-term rentals. Construction materials are also costly because, again, they must be imported. Energy, interestingly, is one of the few areas where Iceland saves money. Thanks to abundant geothermal and hydroelectric power, electricity is cheap and clean. But this doesn't make up for the costs elsewhere, like gas, which is among the most expensive in Europe. Most cars and consumer goods are shipped in by sea, often from multiple countries, and taxed accordingly. And let's not forget taxes. Iceland has a value-added tax, VAT, of up to 24% on goods and services. While this funds healthcare, education, and infrastructure, it adds a significant amount to everyday purchases. You might be wondering, if things are so pricey, how do locals manage? The answer is that wages are relatively high and the social safety net is strong. But even so, many Icelanders feel the pinch, especially in housing and food costs. And for visitors, Iceland's beauty often comes with a hefty bill. So is it worth it? That depends on your priorities. For many, Iceland's clean air, low crime, spectacular landscapes, and strong public services justify the cost. But if you're moving or traveling on a budget, it's a place that requires planning and some serious sticker shock preparation. And while we've laid out the broad reasons for Iceland's high cost of living, it's important to remember that circumstances can change. Prices fluctuate, policies shift, and every person's experience is different. If you're considering a move or a visit, always do your own research. Iceland might be expensive, but for many, it's still priceless. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and let us know in the comments where you're from and if it's expensive there.